Hi guys, I'm one of the RSO accountants. My name is Tracy Lake and this is...
My name is Rochelle Bybee.
We're going to answer some of the most frequently asked questions that we get from RSOs. Well, unfortunately, RSOs, according to university policy, are not considered part of the university. And as such, RSOs are not allowed to use SIU's tax-exempt status or their 501c3 status. So in order for a student organization to do that, they would either have to apply to the state of Illinois for their own, or they would have to go to a state or national chapter or charter and utilize theirs.
If your RSO would like to make a deposit, the checks should be made out to SIU.
Well, there's, first of all, your RSO would need to come by the student engagement office and come see either Rochelle or myself. And there's some paperwork that needs to be filled out. That paperwork is a request of what you're looking for, when you need it, where you're going, as well as it's going to require names and dog tags for each of the students traveling, as well as an itinerary. Once that request is made, we're going to make sure that you guys have enough money in your RSO account to cover the expense, and then we will reserve the cars on your behalf. Now, RSOs are not allowed to use university vehicles, so we go through the university to go through Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And Enterprise Rent-A-Car allows drivers to be 21 or older, and they charge you a flat fee instead of a mileage, so it's actually a little cheaper going through us than it is to go directly through Enterprise.
In order for an RSO to purchase t-shirts, first thing they would need to do is contact the vendor, for example, Silkworm, or they can pretty much use it whoever they want. They would need to send them a request. Then they would need to send artwork at siu.edu a request to approve the design on the shirt. Then they would need to come in to our office and fill out a purchase request form. They will need to send the email from John Mann at artwork@siu.edu, the email to us to put with the purchase form. They will need, if it is over $100, they will need their advisor's approval on the form, and then we will check their RSO account to make sure they have the funds to pay for the t-shirts, and then after that they will just let us know when they're ready to pay, and we will call the credit card information into the vendor.
Well, we have a number of forms that we ask students to complete in order to make a purchase. We have a regular purchase request form, one that's for over $100, one that's under $100. The only difference is over $100 requires an advisor's signature. We have the same set of forms for reimbursements, same thing, one for under $100, one for over. There's a form for travel requests if you're looking for renting a car, and another one if you're trying to pay somebody for professional services. All of these forms can be found on our website, which is getinvolved.siu.edu.
If the RSO would like to print flyers, they would either go through the SIU printing and duplicating, which there is a form that they will need to fill out and bring to us for signature, and then we will make sure they have the funds to cover it in their account. Or they can use the Student Center Marketing and Graphics Department, and there is also a form that they will need to bring to us to get approved for signature and make sure they have the funds.
Well, this term is something you'll find on every single form that you will fill out or complete, pretty much across campus actually. A fiscal officer is actually a person who is designated to be in control of university funds in a particular account. In our particular case, when an RSO is needing to spend money, they will come and see either Rochelle and I, and both of us have fiscal officer responsibility for the RSO money. So if you see anything on a form that says fiscal officer, one of the two of us would need to sign that form for you. We often get asked whether an RSO can accept credit cards. When you're doing a fundraiser, if you would like to accept credit cards, you are able to do that. Unfortunately, it is not a service the university provides. So in order to do that, you would have to set up a Square is the one I can think of off the top of my head, a Square service or something similar to that nature. You'd have to set it up in the name of somebody in the RSO. It would have to be deposited into a non-university account, so somebody's checking account, and then that person would be responsible for writing a check or transferring the money in some format into the RSO account.
The first thing an RSO would need to do is, of course, come in and fill out the purchase request form. Most likely it's going to be over 100, so they will need their advisor's signature on that form. They can either book the hotel rooms online in our office, or they can call it in, and then we would give the credit card info over the phone or put it in online. Along with this, if they need a car to get to where they are going, they will have to fill out the travel request forms also. And then also, if they are booking directly through the hotel, they will need to have the hotel send us a credit card authorization form that we will fill out and send back to the hotel, because most likely when the RSO group checks in, they will not have the card. So this is in lieu of the credit card. As an RSO, we do reimbursements. All they would need to do is bring in their receipts. There is a reimbursement purchase request form. Depending on if it's over or under 100 is the one you fill out. All we need on the form is we need it filled out legibly so we can read it. We need your name, address, dog tag, and then of course the receipts. And this process will take approximately 4 to 6 weeks for the individual to get a check.
So in our office, we have a bulletin board, and on that bulletin board, we have listed any RSOs that we consider to be in the doghouse. And what that means is currently there are 3 ways that an RSO can be in the doghouse. Number 1, if your RSO has not set up your SIUC Connects page, you're in the doghouse, because technically without that you cannot make any financial transactions through us whatsoever. The second would be any RSOs that currently owe a balance. This often happens, especially when we're doing things that are billed internally in the university, because when we receive the paperwork initially, it's an estimate, and a lot of times there are some changes made, and if your budgets are really close, it's quite often that it can actually put you over where you would actually owe some money. So when an RSO does owe funds, no additional reservations or expenditures, etc., can be done until that balance is paid in full. And those RSOs are listed on our bulletin board. And then the third way that an RSO can be in the doghouse is if they are violating policy. The most common policy that we have violated on a regular basis is whenever you purchase something from a local vendor, we need a copy of that receipt within 48 business hours after that purchase. So we do require all receipts or copies of receipt of some nature. We prefer physical copies, but if you absolutely can't get by the office, we will accept email copies of a picture or photograph, faxes if need be. Just let us know and we'll figure out an acceptable way to get it there. But we do need a copy of that within 48 business hours, or you do get put on our list. If it becomes a chronic issue, we can actually suspend your RSO for a period of time in order for you to not be able to purchase or spend money of any nature until we feel that you guys understand the importance of this rule.